Kilpailussa mukana Ramirent. Kotikatsomon eväät tarjoaa Kotipizza.
What's up and welcome to the final round here in Turku, Finland, and the third stop of the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour. This coverage is brought to you by Natural Born Disc Golfer. Thank you guys for sharing your coverage here with us at Gatekeeper Media. And this commentary is brought to you by Parked Podcast. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is a co-host, Hayden Riccard. It's the final round.
I always love coming into the final round. It's fantastic. I love to see who's making a charge and who can be consistent enough to pull out the win.
Yeah, consistency, maybe not something that was in Eveliina's game in round 2, but the momentum slowly shifting to Henna. Really excited to see how she's going to continue to attack, correct on that putt, and really get going.
It was just a couple of those last holes, and I mean, consistency was Heidi.
Yeah.
I mean, through 10 holes, only a double bogey.
Yeah, she really was just on fire and just really pulled it together, strung together a couple of birdies, got the putter hot. Face that we saw in round 1.
Yeah, I was going to say another familiar face.
Yeah, and there's a battle going on for fourth. 3 players tied. So the battle for those points as we get into, where this is the halfway point of the tour, 3 of 5 stops. So the points start to matter more and more.
They do.
Not necessarily battling for a podium, but battling for the end of this tour and the points and a trophy.
Yeah, and talk about battling is getting out this gap on hole 1.
Yeah, definitely not going to happen on the first shot. It's par 5, 787 feet. Going to try to get outside of the gap, like I said, by the second shot, be able to attack and just throw a huge shot out onto this green. Don't push too far, though, because there is quite a big downslope where the wind just kind of tends to really push down those putts.
Ensimmäisenä heittovuoroon 3 alle parin tuloksella Eveliina Salonen.
Yeah, Eveliina really needing to just put herself in good positions to attack. She's birdied this hole 2 rounds in a row.
See if she can do another one.
Yeah, and the conditions have calmed.
Just a little bit more windier, but not
no
as
rain,
wet.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
And that is how you put yourself in position for attack. One of the best drives we've seen the entire
I think that's
tournament.
a good start.
Yeah.
So far.
Henna Blomroos.
Henna definitely needing to just match and try to take advantage of anything she can get here in the final round. 4 back, 18 holes, definitely doable. Oh, that back foot slipped out.
Gets a forward kick. We'll see if she's got a line.
Heidi Laine.
This can be hard from that angle.
Heidi Laine, sponsored by Dynamic Discs, been putting on a show. Long drives, long putts, exciting player to watch. This fades. Not enough fade. Going to be really tough to try to get out of the gap.
19 yli parin tuloksella Tinja Väisänen.
We got Tinja Väisänen here going with the mid-range, I believe. Gets a double kick.
Yeah, second kick put her in a pretty good spot.
Getting kicks and being on the fairway or just off the fairway, got to take it when you can.
Mm-hmm. Immediately having to go into scramble with the patent pending, putting herself in a better position, opening up this gap, trying to get all the way out. And like
the
kick
put her out onto the fairway or just the edge.
Yeah, when you're playing in the woods, kicks are going to happen. This is such a well-shaped shot for Tinja.
The touch on that shot.
Well done. And as we predicted, just having to putt out to the middle, set up that next shot. We finally get to Eveliina's drive.
She's going for a big crush here.
Yeah, we've seen her go to this flex forehand, and that way she leans right and is able to have a pretty good attacking position. But this is maybe a little straighter than she was hoping for.
I don't think she has a problem there getting up and down.
No.
With her strength.
We've seen in previous rounds her trying to get that nose up and try to carry very far off to the right so she has more of a straight shot, but still maybe even being blind.
Oh, what a lovely roll.
Oh, and the footing is going to be Ugh. She's rocking the Vivos. Great grip.
We'll see.
They're nearing that rock climbing shoe.
Yeah, kind of
type thing, you know.
I've never worn a pair myself.
I haven't. I've heard great things though. Tinja skipping up close to those rocks as well. Henna walking up, checking the wind. It's going to play a factor throughout this round. Some of those holes that maybe are a gimme, some of the distances here, just throwing a straight, hyzer up shot, are going to maybe get away from you.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to the wind for sure as you're coming outside of these gaps into these open fairways.
Yep.
It's crucial. And Henna going for
see that get pushed down so far.
I mean, that's still a tough shot. I mean, it's all uphill. I mean, easily everything of 400.
Right,
and getting pushed down so
the,
much.
Yeah, the wind really coming into play here. After watching this, let's see if Eveliina can put a little more height. And again, just putting herself in position for birdie. I mean, if you were to put the shots side by side each time for the first 2 rounds, it would be identical.
Yeah, you can see Heidi here trying to figure out where she can put her foot and come back. That is within the legal rules. And we talked about it before. The rules have changed for this year coming up.
Yeah. But when you have, that's so unfortunate.
It's so awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already leaning back, and that's your result from leaning backwards.
Yeah, she's frustrated, but she was kind of laughing on the way out. Good spirits all around for Heidi, but definitely some frustration knowing that what do you do there? You're not expecting to have it beat right there. Good speed control, right at the ground, letting it skip up there for Tinja. Carries really far down the hill there, Heidi, with a pretty long comebacker. And I mean, we have not seen one putt made from there.
From that downside, it's
the wind ripping over the top. Maybe expecting the wind to continue.
Maybe giving it a half bid and carry it up.
Maybe she thought the wind was going to keep it in the air a little bit more than it did, but
Eveliina it's ripping out there.
Yeah, checking the wind with the grass as it whips left.
Good putt, and she does it again.
3 for 3. Got to be the only player to do that 3 for 3, and the only player this whole round.
We can double check that stat. She missed it, actually, in round 1.
You're right, Henna did get the birdie in round 1, but still 2 of 3, is phenomenal.
It's a hard par 5.
Yeah, we even watched the men's coverage here in Turku, and we're able to commentate on that. Be sure to go back and check that out. But, this hole 1 we've seen consistently on this tour. Hole 1 doesn't mess around.
Oh, no. It's starting you out and saying, here you go. How can you play?
Yeah. How are you going to be able to walk into this with a full mental confidence? And the key, walking out of it with still mental confidence into hole 2.
Yep. Hole 2, par 4, 705 feet. Big open fairway. Want to push as far as you can down here. The wind's going to come into play where your landing's going to be. And then you're going to want to push to the screen that's guarded by OB all the way around the backside. It's going to come down to a choice of whether you want to go across the OB or lay up.
Yeah, and around the backside being on the approach.
Yes.
If you're too short, the OB comes into play quick. We see big numbers here.
And this one got a lot of them in the second round.
It did. If hey, you're feeling that wind, feeling like you can put a little bit more aggression behind it, touch 2 under stable, you find the out of bounds on the right. Then guess what? You push it again, you find the out of bounds on the approach. Big numbers can come quick as this hooks up. This is a great spot here for Eveliina. And both rounds she's been able to really aggressive on the approach, but the correction for her needs to be putting it close with a chance for birdie.
Yeah.
And this is a smash.
Oh, this is riding for a long time.
Gets the forward skip.
She just has to correct from round 2 of going OB a little short and having come all the way back because it never came back in.
A little too much hyzer.
That one picked up speed.
And we saw in round 1 her play is not really to go for the green.
No.
And being left for her is going to be okay. She's going to use the open left side, avoid the out of bounds, never really cross it. Yeah. Full max distance shot here for Heidi Laine. She has the distance with the best of them.
She does, and I believe she's gonna chase and try to go all the way across.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
This looks to be the same disc she threw the drive with, pretty overstable.
Yeah. Taking that out of bounds, out of contention, and just laying it up, have another 300-foot or 200-foot shot.
Yeah, I like that play a lot, splitting this hole into a true 3 shots, getting it close with the putt. The difficulty can come, though, as we get to see the aggression is just too long.
Sit.
Circle's
It's
edge,
safe.
able to run it, but
I think that's the closest she's been, though.
it is. And going back to my point, I mean, playing safe is great. You never really, it's a lot of, the stress is limited, but the stress can continue if you don't put that close enough, because then you're looking at a putt for par, not a putt for birdie.
Exactly.
As this carries a little bit too far for Heidi.
Holy. That one's going... It's going to be a tough one coming back, like you said.
This looks a little flat. Maybe too much glide here for Henna as well. Yep, gonna skip outside the circle. And that's the spot you really don't want to be with the wind picking up. With her putt, she should be okay to run it. But
I don't think she does.
no.
Not trying to lose another stroke.
Speaking of run of it, get down. Oh, just long. And this is what I was saying. You're playing your game plan, but if you're just a little bit off on that last one, that putt becomes really difficult and bogey can come quick. Compared to where you have Heidi here, this is now she has a tap and par compared to you're stuck here with the tap and bogey.
Yep.
Oh, and she's running it, Hayden.
Oh, yeah.
She's got
I
just
stand
5
corrected.
strokes back with 16 to
stand
play. I
corrected.
mean, she's going for it. And this is a long putt here for par. Sit down. Believe that stays safe just on the line. But that'll be a comebacker for bogey.
Oh, that looked really good out of the hand and then just dropped.
She's kind of laughing at it. Just an awkward spot. But yeah, the out of bounds maybe coming to her mind on that last little reach back of it. Not losing a stroke, though. And nose down the whole way. Really unfortunate going to be going for the double bogey here for Väisänen. Unfortunate. And she's battling with 2 other players for that
Yes, she
4th
is.
spot. The points are really starting to matter as we get closer towards the end of this tour.
That was a great par from Henna.
Great par for Heidi as well. Comes quick on this hole. And it's crazy to know that that was a double bogey without any out of bounds strokes.
Yep.
Even that, I mean, playing to your game plan, but just a little bit off at the end. So we move into hole 3, par 3, 410 feet. A hole that's just a little bit out of range for our players here, especially being uphill, the wind coming into play. The mistake's going to be to try to put too much on it and turn into those large shrubs on the right. Going to have some very, very, very guarded up shots. Or if you put a little bit, not enough on it, it can fade out and find the out of bounds on the left. This looks to be short of the shrubs. Going to be able to just kind of maybe give it a half bid. Par is pretty average here. Birdie's not very common.
Yeah, that was a ripping headwind, so it slowed down that disc from using the full max distance.
Looks like it switched here.
It may have just...
Needs to hook up.
Yeah.
Really good use of the wind.
Outside
Changing-
circle
yeah,
1.
That's a great shot. Heidi has the distance for this hole.
She's pretty close in birdie contention.
Yeah. little too much turn, though.
Oh, man.
Right disc, wrong line. She's going to be blind to that basket.
It's definitely going to be a tough one coming back out to fight for your par. This one's leaking towards the OB. Oh, I thought it was going to curl back in.
I thought it was going to hit the stake. Yeah, frustration there for Tinja.
Yeah, the frustration carrying over from the last hole.
Yeah, just holding on a little bit too long. As that wind carries it and just glides it very far outside the circle. Unless a highlight putt comes, that's going to be another double. Wind calming down just a little bit here on the approach for Heidi.
A little short, but that's a hard sight line to get the
There's no
distance.
sight line.
Yeah, but I'm sure she walked it and saw where she needed to
Yeah.
put the angle, but still, I mean, that's a tough shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're stuck behind the bushes, and then you're just, a generalized area of the basket.
Yeah, circle 2 edge here.
Give it a run.
Yeah. And Henna playing a little quick as she, maybe felt the wind picking up, that cameraman moving in the background. Maybe she should have waited just a little bit longer.
That's what I was wondering why she
But taking
didn't
advantage
wait.
of the wind, maybe just
Yeah.
ignoring that in the background, you can feel the wind picking up.
I mean, they're professionals, so,
Yeah.
I mean, they probably don't care anymore
Right.
to a point.
The focus is there no matter what.
Yeah.
Heidi for par.
Oh, just short.
Yeah, it's that distance where you're kind of expecting the wind to kind of give you a little bit of lift, but you don't want to commit too hard and just have that get carried away. So putting on these open greens with nothing in the way, it gets so difficult with the wind.
That's the disadvantage of open courses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can bomb them and throw long shots, but you got wind to play with. You got no protection. And that almost came
Right back.
back at her, which we've seen
So many times.
throughout this tournament. Yeah, it's ridiculous how many times we've seen it.
Yeah, those flags really bending in the background now. And we're still at one of the lower points in the course. I mean, as we continue...
We're not getting an elevation yet.
No, and we're only going to continue to climb. We get to that, middle of the course, that, 8 through 13, those holes really start to get windy. And the double bogey back-to-back, unfortunate there for Tinja.
So we go into hole 4, par 4, 476 feet. Definitely want to get into this flip-up area right here where the stone's flying. Pass, and then have a look to the green. That's pretty safe. Nothing really obstructing it at all.
Except for that tree on the left. So it does force some forehands into the green. And if you're short of it, you're in a really weird spot.
Yeah, you can't be.
Eveliina trying to get everything out of this.
Turns it. I mean, she might have a hyzer look at it.
If that was turning enough, it may have curled back out, but gonna get a look at Henna's drive here. She has been masterfully attacking this hole. Switching up the disc selection, though. This fades back. Catching what's left over of a tiny little stump. Weird reaction there.
This is a common mistake, but
It's a straight forward kick.
straight down. Puts her in a safe spot.
Yeah, a hole where you're standing on the tee pad, it feels like you need to go really aggressive, need to get a lot out of it. But really, if you just throw a pretty straight shot, that 250, 275 feet, it's really a simple two-shot par 4.
Yeah, and that's a common mistake there you can see. But she got knocked down straight into the fairway and able to have a clean look towards the green.
Yep, and this is where that big tree comes into play. It really makes the approaches, and you'll see this consistently on a lot of these par 4s, is it's open for like that last third, but then you get on the green, and you have to be in a specific side of it to have a chance at a putt. Similar result.
Trying to go for the skip play around that tree, it's tough.
Probably was Eveliina pitching out, if I had to guess.
I think so. She
believe that was
didn't
one of the-
have a look at it.
Yeah. What a great drive here from Henna, able to go to the putter for the approach. Hearing that wind and seeing it really pick up. My gosh. Yeah, you see her switch to the straight approach instead of the hyzer. Knowing if she puts that nose down and lets the right to left wind, it's really going to move it. Can be in tester range. I mean, anything outside of that 15 to 20 feet is very much a tester with these conditions. From circle's edge, we go to Väisänen.
See that lift at the end there, pushing it a little bit long.
Heidi from a similar distance, maybe being able to see it. Yeah.
Back. Yeah, this is definitely going to help her, being able to see that wind push. Just short.
Yeah, she kind of expected it.
Another
just uncharacteristic is just low push putt miss, and
I think she's just not feeling confident in her putts in this tournament.
Yeah. I mean, it comes and goes. I mean, these are touring professionals. The confidence is there, but they are human. It comes and goes. And Eveliina making good, staying clean, no bogeys so far here in the final round. That's all she needs to do with the strokes that she has to play with. She just needs to get pars if she can, keep the nerves at a low.
She can afford a bogey here and there.
Right.
But she also has to be mindful of what Henna's doing.
Mm-hmm. And the amount of times that they're battling, she's pretty aware of what Henna's doing.
No doubt.
I'm sure Henna's aware of what Eveliina's doing. They both pick up a par. All of our card picking up a par. Pretty common result here on 4.
Huuhkana. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Valitse uusi Huuhkana. Siinä on potkua. Kotipizzasta.
As we move into hole 5, par 3, 289 feet. Not a lot of danger on this one except for this initial gap. You're going to see most players reach for a forehand, try to just push forwards, matching the angle and grade of the green, trying to get that straight skip. But as these conditions have dried out, that grass is really thick, just wants to grab here, needing to get a little bit more height if you want to get all the way to the green.
And has the height is Eveliina, and checks up on the rocks. Holy smokes.
Absolutely parked.
Let's go to the Koti Pizza slow-mo Mitch.
Eveliina going to that natural hyzer release, letting it flip up, and she is deadly with this overstable fairway driver. Almost giving it an ace run, exactly knowing where she needs to land, checking up, curling back.
I love how the rocks are there.
Just making sure she hasn't pushed long and really putting the pressure on the rest of the card.
And Henna here trying to follow suit.
Love watching her forehand there. It's a little bit early, but such a smooth release as she kind of swings over the top, sets the elbow, and just pulls it kind of, if you're newer to the forehand, imaging like a table, you're at that straight line from front to back, keeping that elbow close, but just a little bit early on the release. Totally different style of forehand to Heidi there. She kind of snaps it, a little bit more wrist movement.
She's an unfortunate back roll.
Mm-hmm. Backhand here. She makes the correction from round 1, not hitting early left, but not having a forehand is...
It's touchy.
Yeah, it's tough.
We'll probably see her go to the jump putt. Ooh, and obstructed.
Pretty for a camera, not pretty as a player, and
No,
that's
definitely not.
so tough. Only way to make it through that's that nose up, kind of stall, pushing Anheuser. Very technical shot. She doesn't get to move up very far.
Look at that wind. Grab that thing.
Yep. Paying attention to which direction the wind is and combating it, not letting the underside of the disc be seen. This tree's just moving around like crazy.
There's not much you can do from there except for put it as close as you can like she did.
No, and you see a lot of players
so hard.
on that short right. Heidi for par.
So close. Just need to get over the top of that.
Just a tiny bit more power and she's there. We'll get to Evelina's drive in the next couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe not.
yeah. Circle's edge.
This wind is brutal.
Yeah. Picking up consistently as this round continues. Great commit. Finally gets the power behind it, but just a little bit too much height. That's something you can walk away with and know that you do have that timing. Everything came together from the feet all the way up to the release point for Tinja, but it's going to be another, I believe, double bogey. So unfortunate.
She's liking
so
the
far.
color purple.
Yeah, I mean, Heidi is
Which
too,
sucks.
but it's on her shirt, not her scorecard, so she's feeling a little bit more confident.
She's
But
got more of the red.
yeah, confidence definitely finding Eveliina as she is 2 down through 5, extending that lead to 6. I mean, kind of running
5
away
down.
with it here. Yeah, feeling really confident.
Yeah, moving into hole 6, par 3, 358 feet. You see the players go to a turnover backhand or the forehand, trying to hit this gap and put it close for the par. This is a tough one for them to get up for the birdie.
Yeah, it's a tough one for the entire field here. It's that max distance forehand, but it has to have so much height. Really, I mean, getting in a position to be able to have that circle 2 look for a par.
You got to
or
go
for
over
a
the
birdie.
top.
Oh yeah, to get
To get to the
it.
close to the birdie, you got to go over the top, which is hard.
Unless you get a really interesting lift. Yep.
Did that go OB?
We have not
There's
seen anyone
OB
push that. I mean,
wrong.
that's a smash of a forehand, you got to say. I mean,
Yeah.
that's almost a 400-foot forehand, but this takes a good kick left, going to give her an easy approach there. But
Wow.
surprising, as we just say, you know, playing so clean so far. And that's not going to be a tap-in
No.
par. I mean, it's going to be bogey at
At
least.
best. Yeah.
And this is a really good par play here. Walk up, throw kind of a straight mid-range, 350 feet to the gap, walk away.
You don't have to think about it.
Excuse me, that was a fairway driver out of Heidi
And
to match.
to match, I mean, that's what you want. They've been taking a couple bad strokes here and there. It's like, hey, let's just fight for par and go from there.
Yeah, maybe even giving it a run, trying to get a highlight.
We haven't seen one yet.
Just long, but definitely the right height. Gonna have a little bit of a comebacker, though.
And downhill. Almost even plane, actually. A little bit downhill, not much.
It's really the battle for the Coty Pizza slow-mo. Oh, no, I thought we saw it. So close.
Like I said, we haven't had one yet. We've had one in every other round, though.
I know.
Or
it's
every
like,
other tournament.
You just kind of expect it at this point.
Why?
It's been a blast to see the aggression on these approaches, the absolute showcase of it, just high there for Henna, but everyone going to be close to the par. Unfortunately, though, Eveliina close for the bogey. And so I'm sorry to correct myself on that. Heidi finding a really weird stance. You can see dancing around this limb.
Yeah, she's doing limbo with the limbs.
Nice. From a straddle. Good
putt.
confident putt.
She needed that one to feel, after taking a couple bogeys here and there.
Yeah,
She's
still
going
on search for a birdie.
bogey, par, bogey, par, bogey, par.
She's making the
Yes.
corrections where they need to be, but just a tiny bit off. And we saw this in the previous round,
We
being
did.
able to watch her.
And then
she kind of
was
caught
able
fire.
To,
Yeah.
she was able to capitalize off that one birdie.
Good confident par. Going to pick up 1 on Eveliina. Shorten that lead back down to 5. Definitely just I mean, you're not throwing your tee shot expecting to find the out of bounds long.
Definitely not. You can kind of see that she's like, I'm halfway pissed, but whatever.
Yeah. Halfway pissed is kind of where I feel like most disc golfers live if you're not playing well.
I'm sure.
How are you feeling? Kind of halfway pissed. Moving into hole 7, par 4. Yeah, 587 feet. The goal really just being able to get to those 2 goal posts of the birch trees. Kind of a stable fairway driver, maybe a full driver to get there, but as long as you can see the basket after your first shot, you're in a great spot. There's a lot of these par 4s that are, not the longest, but are really important to set yourself up, as this takes a wacky wind bounce, but does continue on the line she's looking for. She's gonna have a straight shot, still be able to be attacking, but putting it up high. I mean, the wind's just brutalizing the discs. Yeah, you can hear it. Great correction.
That was a great shot.
Yeah, great kick there back to the middle, but out of the hand. I mean, the round not going away. Definitely
She knows
just the
that
frustration.
one.
Yeah. And Eveliina kind of in between discs after seeing a lot of interesting air bounces and reactions so far.
I'm sure she's going for it all on this one.
Yeah. Going with something more overstable,
And
straighter.
that air bounce is helping her.
Yep. Going to be in a great spot. Being a little bit up and further right opens up that gap. Maybe even being able to go to a forehand now. Camaraderie, carrying the bag, helping out the teammate. You'll love to see it. And speaking of bags, as this looks maybe just a touch too long.
No, not
It's a
too
good
bad.
spot, yeah. That is a seriously old grip bag.
Yeah.
that Tinja's rocking.
What circa is that from?
Probably 2014, 2015. I remember having one of those back in the day. Absolute hoss of a bag. So many different variations, though, so since then. A lot of snap there from Henna.
If it just had the right height that was getting to the circle one edge.
Tough to get that height, though, when you're really thinking about the gap.
Yeah. And Eveliina going with the turnover.
Yeah, realizing the forehand may not get her all the way to the green.
And that's the mistake. It's a hard one to
Catches.
get to.
Yeah, it's one of those decisions if your putt's feeling good from that circle 2-ish, you can throw the forehand knowing, hey, I just need to get within that 40-foot range, but realizing you maybe need to get closer. And this is the mistake here. A lot of these, yeah, it's inside. She's going to have a look, but you see a lot of players leak all the way on that left side, not commit all the way into the gap. Blind here, we go to Tinja. Catching the last tree, but she'll be in a good spot to attack for the putt.
Man.
Big step out.
She's got to watch what's on her right side. Make sure she gets the angle right. A little bit too much height? I don't see where it got.
I think that pushed into the gap, but maybe like pushed left once it got in. We'll see what she has left. Henna's probably just kind of laying up here. Not laying up. Ooh.
She was definitely not laying up.
No, realizing she had a chance to pick one. Heidi with some kind of gap.
Ooh, just a little bit offline. Should be an easy tap in.
Yeah, when she's off, it's just
not
a
much.
little bit.
And Eveliina here in the backside. She got through. Had a look.
From quite a distance, though.
It's gonna be an unfortunate.
I believe it's gonna be a bogey for her, yeah?
Yes.
And Tinja just a little bit off left.
This is just one of those holes that it's neither here or there. It's just like it can play good or it can play really, really bad.
Yeah, it's the basket placement, I think, is it tends to put you in a really awkward spot for putting. Good bogey coming back.
Yeah, it's playing 4.6.
Wow, nearly an entire stroke over par, especially with the wind. Be a bogey from our leader as well. And Henna picking up another one. No birdies, no bogeys, straight pars so far. But knowing that she can play that way as long as she's playing clean, that alone puts the pressure on our leader.
It does. And hole 8 is a tester. This is one that you can, if you get out the gap and then your second shot gets close, you can reach and get the birdie. Par 4, 614 feet, get the tree right here, right next to the basket. The initial thing is to not go too straight, hit the OB, but you also want to get out and miss the shrub on the left here. And this looks like it's turning up right towards the, right past them, and that goes OB for Henna, and she was playing clean.
Yeah, maybe trying to just get a little bit too aggressive, knowing the wind is going to be big, trying to bite off a little bit too much. This looks great.
This is a correction.
Yep.
Center cut of the fairway.
You see the flags just getting annihilated there in the background, that left to right wind. So if that disc flips at all, it's not coming back.
That's what being on top of this mountain does on this back end of these holes. Like you said, 8 through 13, 8 through 16, it gets really tough.
Yeah, we really don't have a downhill hole, I guess, until 17.
And that's not even really much downhill.
Yeah.
Until you get to 18.
And this gets pushed down really, really hard.
And quick. She's going to have to go for distance on the second shot here and put it close.
Yeah, probably the most wind we've seen so far here on 8. She is in bounds, though, so, I mean, it's already a stroke better than Henna, but Henna's, I mean, moving far enough down the fairway, she can still get par.
That's what I was going to say. She can still get up and down if she has a great third shot. This is the common mistake. It's just going with the way of the lay of land and going left.
Yep. That basket placement
It opens up your approach to the basket, though.
Mm-hmm. See if Henna just has to go into attack.
Trying to go the wide route.
Maybe not wide enough. Wow, that got carried very far left.
Wow.
Yeah, and that wind just pushing it so far left. You can see Evelina's hair just moving around here. I mean, gosh, brutal conditions. Uh-oh. Really good tree there as that was heading straight towards the out of bounds. Finally get to Heidi's drive.
Going down that hill as well. It's a good forward roll.
Yeah, still going to be a tester.
Yeah, as they are all looking for the disc.
Puppy's trying to help out. Come on, bud.
Find
the discs.
That went deep in there.
Yeah, I believe in this dog. Please find it.
That's the unfortunate thing. If you don't find... Oh, my.
Wow.
Look how deep that is.
I mean, she's nearly chest deep in this kudzu.
It's not kudzu, but...
Everything's kudzu if it's weeds. To me, it is. Hayden, our wildlife management.
I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not kudzu.
Catching a lot on the way out.
And just getting to the edge.
Oh my gosh,
this is going to be a big number for Henna.
Yeah. Out of bounds, then hitting early. Really going to have to put this close, battling that little branch behind her.
Sit.
Yeah. Good correction to put it close, but yeah, she's going to be looking at a double. almost putting it into the basket. Tinja, really good approach there. Short left there for Heidi, but
Surprised to not see a lot of Anheuser on that one.
yeah, usually she does put it, but I mean, that wind, maybe it was just going to get pushed down.
Yeah, it probably would. Good par for Eveliina.
Yep.
I mean, she's getting one back.
And low for Tinja. Oh, no.
Just off the top. She just needed to connect with that one.
Yeah. Just trying to get in that rhythm. You're playing so clean so far, picking up strokes just with pars. Gonna be giving back a couple here. Only the solo bogey, but yeah, it's tough. And the triple bogey, and going into the back nine, I mean, some serious things are going to need to change. I mean, she just lost 3 strokes to our leader. But let's head to hole 9. Par 3, 200 feet, triple Mando, single tree in the middle, just begging to get hit. And don't push it too far. The out of bounds is inside the circle if you go past the basket. Just trying to hit the edge of the hill and skip forwards. But this wind, as we do, keep throwing uphill, definitely going to be a factor. But that is perfectly parked.
Great shot from Heidi. Correcting from the last one, she was close to the OB, but putting it closer so it's a no-brainer birdie. And this looks great.
Oh, just short. You heard them all asking it to go in right out of the hand. So this is a little bit too understable. Makes the Mando, though.
There's one thing you definitely want to do.
Oh, that second kick was so good for Henna.
That was going far right.
And being nose up with the wind, that would have carried so far. She's got to run everything that's going to put her back under par. Losing another to Eveliina. Thankfully, I mean, not missing the Mando. I mean, that would have been catastrophic.
Great birdie from Eveliina. Another one to follow suit with Heidi.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare. I mean, on a pro tour, I mean, these are some of the top players in the world to be on a 200-foot hole.
You should make that 99% of the time.
Yeah, but I mean, you see here, I mean, getting a par early.
It's not the easiest, but
no.
When it's just 200 feet,
yeah,
you should definitely make that.
No doubt.
Front nine, up and downs for a couple of these players. I mean, what are your thoughts going into the back nine?
I mean, Henna was playing so clean except for hole 8. That wind got the best of her, picking up the triple. A lot of triples here for Tinja. Unfortunate. So we're going to check in with our leaderboard, see where she's kind of sitting. She was battling with 3 other players, and those 3 other players struggling a little bit, but Anna Sophia starting to pull away, trying to hold on to that 4th position. Heidi pretty locked into 3rd, and with an 8-stroke lead with 9 to play, going to be tough for Eveliina to throw this one away.
Yeah, she's got to just play to her game, get the birdies where she can, and keep the strokes off the red and purple strokes off of there.
Yeah, and I mean, the back nine really does suit her game with some of these touch forehands. And I mean, she can play for par on every hole. No need to really push too hard. But I mean, it's going to be tough to lose, but definitely still an option with these conditions as the wind picks up.
Agreed.
Yeah, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Parked Podcast. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mitch Phillips.
And I'm Hayden Riccard.
And we'll see you for the final 9 holes here in Turku, Finland.